Okay, I'm sick of so many people placing limitations on autistic people, so keep watching for the very personal diary of an autistic law student. Okay, it's rant time. Seriously, this actually happened to me the other day. Someone said, "Oh really, I wouldn't have picked you for being autistic. Don't really look autistic, you don't really kind of come across autistic. I wouldn't have picked you for being autistic. I don't look autistic." What does autistic even look like? There's a look. I wouldn't have picked you for being a moron, but at least I know what one looks like now. You are born autistic, you die autistic. There are no levels. Who cares about levels? What's with the levels? The bottom line is, if you are born autistic, if you are diagnosed autistic, absolutely being diagnosed with certain challenges, certain strengths, certain support needs is vital. I get that. It's vital for services and interventions. But for goodness sakes, it doesn't define the person. You're an autistic person or you are not. You're an autistic person or you're a neurotypical person. I don't walk around going, "Wait, are you neurotypical?" You don't look neurotypical. It doesn't make any sense. In the year we are in, for people to say to me, "Really? Wow, I didn't pick you for being autistic." Like, you can pick people for being autistic? You can't pick people for being autistic. Oh wow, you're one of those people that have those MRI machines in their eyes, yeah? And you can actually see the inner workings of my brain to know that I don't look autistic, because autistic people, like myself, have a brain that is wired differently, a different brain. That's what makes us autistic, not my facial structure. Seriously, if someone says, "Whoa, I wouldn't have picked you for being autistic," do me a favor, say back to them, "Whoa, I wouldn't have picked you for being a moron, but you are." Hey, I'm Orion Kelly and I'm autistic. I've also got generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder, 2 kids and a wife. Welcome to my channel.
And now, here's your neurologically different host, Orion Kelly.
I'm so grateful for you watching my video and checking out my channel. Thank you very much. As an autistic person, really all I want to do is make the world a better place for autistic people by not really providing awareness. I don't think awareness will help. By hopefully advocating for acceptance. That would be great. Acceptance and understanding before awareness. So as an autistic person, I'm here to make the world a better place for autistic people. But to do that, I have to make the world a better place for neurotypical people or non-autistic people, because we're all here on the same planet. So this is why I'm here. I'd love you to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that notifications button so you never miss another video. And check out the videos that I've released prior to this one. Hopefully you'll find value in those as well. You can also find me on the socials, okay? On your screen now, check out all the different options. I would love for you to like the Facebook page, and please get in touch if you'd like to, or comment. Now, it's time to get pretty personal. On this video, I'm giving you the diary of an autistic law school student. Me. You think being autistic makes you feel like an outcast, like you don't fit in, like you don't belong. Try being an adult autistic person studying an undergraduate degree. If I thought I was lonely and out of place already, well, I hadn't even experienced it yet compared to what I experienced going to uni. Now, I can't speak on behalf of other universities or institutions, but I can give big props to the uni I went to for supporting people with disabilities. There is a department called Disability Support Services, or DSS. The way I look at it is, depending on your disability, the impact that the allowance is given to you to help you with your studies as a result of your disability, are many and varied depending on your disability. My experience dealing with the Disability Support Services part of the university was phenomenal. They are great people, their team are phenomenal, and they care. In hindsight, looking back now, I don't know if I necessarily was the only person who probably could have been part of that conversation, as in, well, what do you need? I think potentially universities might need to invest more time in these teams and these departments, actually providing themselves with ongoing training, other insights, to have their own ideas, and to even put research into and to advocate for new and better ways to provide opportunities for people who aren't of the norm. Because in the end, allowing more people, being more inclusive as a university community can only be good because more people are attracted to study rather than the same stereotypical type that go to uni. So in the end, I was provided with some allowances for assessments. I was also provided with access to view lectures online, as in I didn't have to go to campus. And I was also provided with some allowances in exam situations. So clearly a big part of university is the in-semester assessments and then the end of semester exams. That's not anything new. So all these things made a lot of sense to me and I thought they were really valuable. I mean, in hindsight, it's much different. When I experienced them, I thought, well, this is probably all I'm gonna need. This is great. And this will probably keep me going. And this is probably gonna save me from dropping out of law school. But in hindsight, it clearly wasn't. To break this down, my allowances were assessment-based. An issue that I found quite quickly was they are irrelevant if I don't learn the stuff. The model of teaching, that wasn't changed. The way I was interacted with by tutors, by lecturers, by staff, that didn't change. And I guess my point is, what I found that was a big issue for me studying law at university was we all are expected to learn the same way, present our learning in the same way, and present our assessments in the same way if you want to be successful. You can go off the curve, but then you'll fall below the curve, bell curve. And if I'm not going to know the stuff by learning it the way it's always taught to neurotypical people, and this is just the way it works, and it doesn't work for me being autistic, then I'm in a bit of trouble. The DSS, the department that help people with disabilities, they've bought in and they're amazing. I love them and I'm grateful for them. But if the teachers, if the educators, if the people at the university who actually deliver the content, if they don't buy in and they just go, oh, we've got this department and it's really helpful and you should check it out and here's one generic slide that someone made me put up in my little lecture here, so here, have a look at the generic slide, I encourage you to do it. How can you help me? Oh, it just means I can give you an extra day of your assignment if you want. Well, what's an extra day going to do? I can't even learn. You see that the hole there, the gap there? There is no use making all allowances for assessment-based stuff if there's no changes to the learning style. How can I learn? If I can't learn, I can't pass. As an autistic person, I found the environment of university to be really overwhelming and really confronting. And I know, look, that's the real world. And I'm not about trying to change the real world. I'm about trying to provide understanding and acceptance, not awareness. I'm trying to provide you with understanding and acceptance that the environment of the university played a large part on my lack of desire or lack of want to complete the degree because it just wasn't viable for me mentally anymore. The environment is extraordinarily overwhelming and can have a large impact on an autistic person. I don't know how many times I've said overwhelming, but the environment of university is. Okay, so it's loud. It's kind of like going to a shopping center, you know, at Christmas time or for sales. There's just people everywhere and they're all chitty-chatty because if you're in the outside areas of universities or not in a room, well then people are coming or going. So they're talking. Oh, they're talking about what they just came out of. The environment of a university can be overwhelming for many reasons. There's the noise, there's the people factor, but there's also buildings in a university can somehow intimidate. You know, big buildings or old buildings, there's some sort of intimidation factor there. When I was doing my arts degree for a year to transfer into law, I was too scared to walk into the law building. So I didn't until I got into law. And even then, I only walked into the law building for two reasons. One, for tutorials, and two, to go to the library. Now, most law students live in the law building. The lights in rooms, the lights, they're big, fluorescent, bright lights that can't be dimmed, or they flicker. You know, the screens, the speakers, the doors, the chairs, the layout. You know, when you walk into a lecture theatre, you know, there's rows of chairs and you can enter at either end, right? But if I sit in the middle, I'm stuck between people, well, that's bad for my anxiety. I've really got to be at the end. But then I've got to get there really at the last minute, but I don't like to be late. So I'm there early, but then I sit at the end of a row. So everyone's going past me. I can't win. I mean, I need to sit at the end. Number one, I don't want to be crammed in and get all kind of claustrophobic and anxious, but also the social side of it. If you go in, people might start talking to you, not that they ever did with me as a rule. Everyone universally describes libraries as quiet places, right? Okay, not really. The law library. Sure, there's quiet areas. The law library is a hive of activity. What I found was a no-no, was going to the law library for more than just to get books and get out. I tried to do reading in the law library or studying in the law library, but what I found was, even in quiet areas, people are on laptops and they're banging away at laptops. You know, you might not even realize it, but the noise the keys on a laptop makes, for me, is genuine torture. If I'm sitting there trying to read, trying to digest, trying to concentrate, trying to study, and all I hear is the banging and clanging of keyboard all over me, it became too much. I mean, literally meltdown level. So in effect, the library wasn't a place for me. I had no ability to study on campus. I actually had to do everything off campus. Again, this is just an experience that I'm giving to you as a personal insight into my experience to provide a level of understanding and acceptance. I've always passed my law exams, so I'm not bad at them. But in neurotypical conditions, I don't achieve to the level that I could. I don't reach my potential. And that's the frustration. That's what sucks the joy and the energy right out of you. The sheer noise, the sheer scale of an exam hall. So when you're waiting to go in, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people. That's intimidating. That's overwhelming. Already my brain's starting to shut down. I haven't even got in the hall yet. Then I get in and it's even more intense because you're sitting down, you're getting all your things out, they're getting the papers. So you get super stressed. Now, everyone does, but think about it. I've already come in pretty much sensorily overloaded from being outside with thousands of people. Now I've come in and my brain's basically already at shutdown and I haven't even read the exam paper. So these are the factors that lead me in this neurotypical scenario to do much worse at exams than I could have. And then of course, when you start to read the exam papers, well, that's when the stress gets to the level where my brain actually does shut down. I've never fully finished an exam. So I've never failed an exam. I've always passed, but I've never fully finished. I've never finished a law exam. So can you imagine if I was in a situation where I could actually be provided with an environment that would allow me to be at the best of my abilities and to answer all the questions to the best of my abilities and actually, realize my potential, what I could have achieved. I absolutely want to be clear. This is my own personal experience. I mean, the video is called The Diary of an Autistic Law Student. So clearly this is my own experience. It's my diary. I'm in no way saying all autistic people don't like uni or can't be successful at uni. Well, that's just not true. I know autistic people who have successfully completed degrees. I know autistic people who have successfully completed law degrees, but that's not good or bad because they're different. We're all different. It's one thing to say all autistic people are different, which they are, but really we should just be saying all people are different. We're all people and all people are different. So this idea that because I say it's been a struggle for me and I just can't put myself through it any longer, doesn't mean I'm saying all autistic people shouldn't. It just wasn't the environment that allowed me the ability mentally and physically to finish it. I just couldn't do it anymore. So I guess what I really want to make clear is, for neurotypical people, for non-autistic people, try to understand, try to accept that for an autistic person to do the same thing as you, for example, in my situation, if you were part of the group of students that studied law when I did, and you're neurotypical, I know you know it's hard, and I know and I respect your ability to do it. Imagine if you had all those obstacles, but then you also had a brain that was wired differently that threw up actual curveballs and roadblocks based on things you can't control, on top of all the things that happen by doing a university degree. That level of understanding is invaluable for autistic people because it doesn't provide us with any advantages. Everything we do, we are doing not only in a neurotypical world and in really the best way we can act to make you feel comfortable in your world, but we're doing it as autistic people. And from my point of view, sharing a personal account of my time as an autistic law student is really designed to provide you just a window into my brain, into my experience, and hopefully just raise some understanding and acceptance. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you checking out my video. Please rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatevs. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notifications bell so you don't miss another video. Share it with your family and friends. And if you'd like to find me on my socials, please like the Facebook page, comment, share, message, get in touch. I'm here to make the world a better place for autistic people and for neurotypical people, because to make the world a better place for you and for me, we've got to make the world a better place for both of us. So in the meantime, check out the rest of my videos and we'll talk soon. See ya.